It's time to get up.
Okay, so today...
Okay, so it's been a while since I posted a YouTube video, so I thought it was long overdue for a little bit of an update. Now, this is a very specific update. One of the most common questions I get is, what do I do for work? Before Big Brother, I was actually working on my own startup, and afterwards, unfortunately, I had to shut it down. But I always felt like at some point in my life I wanted to start my own business, and I think I finally have come to the point where I'm ready to do it again. So I've been working on a project recently and I haven't talked about it much, but basically it all started with this conversation. Hey, what do you want for dinner?
Oh, I've really been craving Thai.
Ooh, Thai sounds good.
Okay, let me find a place for us.
Hey, have you found one yet?
I mean, they're kind of all like 3.5, 4 stars. So like, I don't really know what's jumping out at me. I wish we had someone we could just ask. I wish we had someone we could just ask.
Honestly, I wish we could just text someone. I wish we could text someone, Claire!
And that's the exact moment that I came up with the idea to create this new text messaging service where you could text this number, ask for different restaurant recommendations for specific food or type of vibe that you want in any area, and it will feel like you're texting like a local person or a concierge who can customize the recommendations for you. And the idea is that all of it is powered with just AI. So without going into anything specific, I'm hoping that by the time it's all finished, it will really feel like you're texting a person on the other end, and it's gonna feel like if you're in LA, you're texting someone who's lived in LA for 20 years and is a huge foodie, and they're giving you all of the inside scoops. But it's a long way to go from having nothing to getting to that point. So today what I want to do is show you guys exactly how I go about starting a new business. So whenever I'm starting a new business, I break it down into 3 different parts. First is planning, then prioritizing, and then finally progressing. And I keep track of all 3 of these things using Notion. The first phase is planning, and during this phase, this is when I try to break down the entire project into all of its component parts. So there's a bunch of different steps, and I break down each one of those into something that I call an epic. Okay, now let me show you what epics look like when I make them in Notion. So these are all the epics for my project, and I put them on this cool timeline so I can see how long each one of them should take. If I click on any one of them, I can see all the tasks that I need to do to finish the epic. If I want a single view of all the tasks, I can scroll down to the story section. And a story is an individual task to complete. I have different tabs here for different views, and I can also easily create new stories just by pressing here. And now let me make a new story for figuring out the name of my app. Once all of this is done, at the end of the planning phase, you should have this organized table of all the tasks you need to complete, which means you can move on to step 2. Now, once you have your overall project broken down into these little epics, the next step is prioritizing. You have to figure out what you're going to work on first and what you need to work on later. And to do this, every single week, I create something called a sprint. And let me show you what that looks like. Here's my sprint board. I'm going to update this to a new week. This is where I'll add all of the tasks that I want to complete for this week. And you can see right now there's no tasks, so let's go ahead and add some. First, I'm going to go to the table with all of the stories that we just made during the planning phase. Let's say this week I want to focus on design. I'm going to check the box for every task that I want to add to the sprint, and this will automatically move it into my current sprint. I can see all of the tasks that I just added, and they're all in this backlog column. As I work on tasks, I'm going to move them to in progress, and then finally to the completed column when they're done. I love using the sprint board because I can see all the work that I want to focus on for the week, and it keeps me focused on what needs to be done, what is in progress, and what I've already completed. Now, finally, the last step when starting a new business is progressing. So you have all the things that you need to do, you're prioritizing them every single week, but you need to make sure you're actually making progress towards your goals. Let me show you a couple of my favorite things in Notion to make sure I'm doing just that. Here is a tracker I made. You can see here I've made 0 progress on design so far. To change that, all I have to do is move a story to the completed column and then label it with what type of task it was. And then boom, if I scroll back down, I can see that the bar has increased automatically from 0% to 8%. And this is awesome because now I can see the progress across my entire project without any extra work. I also use this Pomodoro timer to stay focused. It starts a timer for 25 minutes of work, and then you get a 5-minute break after. But my favorite thing, hands down, is this countdown timer. It's the first thing I see when I open my Notion board, and it keeps me motivated every single day. All right, so that is basically how I organize any project I'm working on using Notion. I hope you found this helpful if you're starting your own business, working on a big project, or just need to have a little bit more organization in your life. Let me know down in the comments what you think about my idea, if you liked it, if you hate it, if you think there's something I can improve about it. I want to hear all of it. Thank you guys for watching, and talk soon.